Okay, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dare to Fulfill Your Dreams. And of course, this channel is about women who migrated, and they'll be telling their great stories, and we'll be having wonderful chats with them and just spreading, a lot of joy and enthusiasm and how you say support and empowering, women who've migrated and just sharing their story. So for a lot of you out there that, it'll be good for you. So my amazing guest today is Chahat Sarwara. I hope I got the name right. And Chahat came from India. Chahat came as a student here to Canada, and she attended the Lakeland College. And luckily for her, she still is with the college and call that giving back, or she found the environment very well, and so she still works for the college, but she's also pursued some amazing things. So we're not going to give away all of that now, but I'm going to warmly welcome Chahat. So Chahat, thank you so much for joining us here on Dare to Fulfill Your Dreams. How are you?
Thank you for having me, Susan. I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So let's get right in. So you came to Canada as a student. Wow, what was that like for you? Did you come to Canada before?
No, so I'm from northern state of India, which is Punjab. And so a little background about me. I was always sure that I want to move abroad. And after high school, I went to United States, and that is when I was really sure that, yes, I want to go abroad. And when I went back home, my parents didn't allow, they didn't approve of me. They said, you're still so immature. You're a child. I mean, you can't be by yourself. So so well, I had, to stay there for the time being. I did my bachelor's, and then after that, I really had to beg my parents to send me to Canada. Just send me. So that is when I came here. And so that was the how I get to come to Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
So what did you pursue when you came?
So I was doing Bachelor's of Commerce in India, and then when I came here, I did post bachelor or post graduation diploma at Lakeland.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so in as much as you were ready for this, which is good to hear because you came with a burst of enthusiasm. So, I mean, with all the excitement and everything else, what struck you the most? What was one of the main things that you had to adjust to coming here? What was the first thing that came out of you and say, aha, I'm going to have to make some adjustments here?
Well, I never thought about that I would have to make adjustments or, what the life would be like. I was just like, I have to get on that plane and get to home. That was the only thing I was, sure of.
Right.
So it was all very unplanned. And I remember my mother was stressing so much that I did not do any cooking. I did not have any cooking skills. And I'm a vegetarian. And I straightly came to Westminster, and where we did not have our community or much of Indian food. So I really struggled with cooking first of all, and then with household chores, and this was the main thing where I struggled the most.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And apart from that, I would say that when that honeymoon phase settled down.
Yes.
I started struggling with, emotionally and mentally. I was homesick. I was away from friends and family. I did not know anyone here. I did not know what to expect here.
So right.
That really, hit me.
Well, so having said all of that, though, I mean, you came, of course, your whole cultural background, you came into a very diverse environment. What was that like for you in terms of still being able to practice all your cultural devotions, just everything that about you that makes you Chahat and your cultural background. Was that easy for you just to immerse in, or you still had to find a way to fit in, for want of better words?
Well, yes, I did find it a little hard initially to fit in because, it was all very new, and very culturally diverse and totally different world, you know.
Yes.
So yes, it was hard, especially because there was, when I was struggling to study at that time and then struggling emotionally and everything. Trying to stay, connected with my culture was very hard. I remember that I had family and friends in Edmonton. So I used to travel there, twice a month to,
Okay.
to stay, in touch with everything. And
Yes.
I do remember that at one point, because I was not speaking my mother tongue a lot,
Okay.
I even started speaking in Hindi or, more of English, even when my parents used to call me.
Oh,
So
right.
that is where I really like, oh my God, what's happening?
Yes, you felt like you were losing ground, and so you needed to get back in touch with that. And how important that was for you. I guess it was important when you connected with your parents and you realized, I need to bridge this, so
Yeah,
to have the best of both worlds.
yes, because it is very important to, stay connected with your roots. I mean, what are
Yes.
you without that?
Exactly. And that's a very good point. So which brings me to the next point now. So you studied, you did everything and so on, but you also became very active in the college. So how did you move to that step? Is it your natural personality? Because I seem to think so. Interacting with you, you seem to have this natural social butterfly personality. So what made you decide to now be part of, volunteer, do work, whatever it took for you to now be employed at the college?
Yeah, so Susan, you won't believe, but I am very introvert, extremely shy person, and
Oh my
I
goodness.
always I always had trouble making friends, and that was, another challenge that I really faced because I mix up very quickly. I cannot initiate a conversation. But yeah, I came a long way. I figured that I had to, come out of my shell. So
And you
yeah,
certainly did by the time I met you.
yeah. But no, I was, pushing myself out of my comfort zone all the time.
I
And
see.
when I started volunteering or, started organizing these events or doing all these activities was a part to stay connected with my culture, to keep my mind busy because I had a lot of free time on my hands. Um, when I came to Canada, I was just studying, and then study part was very smooth. I never had any issues. I was not working at that time, so I had to do something to, keep myself busy and to be sane.
Well, that makes sense. Well, you did a wonderful job, no doubt. So now that so what do you do at the college now in terms
So
of work?
I remember because at that time the immigration laws were that the students could not work just when they get off the plane or when they start studying. We had to wait for 6 months to get our work permit.
Right.
So I remember that I when my friends started looking for jobs, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's do job, but how? I never worked
Yes.
before.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, then I got this opportunity to work at college. I was studying there. It all started in my first year, and
Right.
started as student coordinator, international student coordinator. So it was very proud moment because my fellow colleagues or friends were coming to me for help whenever
Right.
they need something from the department. That was
Right.
a very very proud moment.
Well,
And
then that's the upside of it too, because I mean, it's a diverse college. And so you would have had obviously people from your country and probably, within because I mean, there are several different cultural groups within India. And so you would have had a couple fellow colleagues that you would have been very familiar in terms of the cultural background and the language and that kind of stuff. So that was great. So now you're at the college. So I'm sure that at this point in time, you had plans on what happens within the next 5 years to bring you to where you are today. So I know that you've done some things since then. So tell us about the current business venture that you've decided to get into and why.
Yeah. So it all started because my father, we had a business we have a business back home from past 25 years or so in immigration consultancy field. And I remember when I was very young when he started doing this, and I pretty much grew up in this whole atmosphere.
Right.
And that is when I gained interest in this field. And because I was also working with college, it's the similar field because I'm working with international students and working with their permits and everything. So I thought that, yes, it's time that I get my licensing and everything and start my own business here. So
absolutely.
Yes.
So that is awesome. So I guess you had to go through some study process, but because you were passionate about it, then that is ultimately what you did. Well, that's just amazing. So now you're working at the college, and then you have to find time to do this. So may I ask, when do you find the time and how does it work?
Oh boy, it is really hard. Some days I feel torn between these two. And I just want to, I always joke around that, you know what, I think it's age to retire. I'm done.
But so tell us, so the business is basically you do some online, I guess, given the current climate, you do a lot of it online. And tell us the name of the business one more time.
So I have the consultancy firm, and it is known as Sarwara Immigration Services. That I opened it last year. It was during COVID when I work till evening at college, and then when I come home, I get some rest, and then I start doing my business work. And
right.
I usually stay up till 1 at night, and then I go to bed. I go to work next day in the morning. So that's how it is going on. But I'm really enjoying it.
Well, that's the thing about it is, and I mean, what is amazing and what is so great about I mean, stories from women who migrated is that it is encouraging, because it could be a little daunting for a lot of us who come and into a new environment. And then one of the challenging things that that confront us is that, what do we do now? Can we pursue our passion? For a lot of us who came with a certain professional background, we are unable to pursue it to the very fullest. Sometimes we have to reinvent ourselves. So what advice would you give to young women like yourselves who come in and either have to change gears or build up the courage and stay focused to do what they're meant to do, what they're passionate about? So you have two sides. Is it that, if it is that you do have to make the change, how do you adjust to that? And if it is that you are still holding fast to what you love and what you want to do, how do you continue pursuing those goals?
Well, I would say the formula that worked for me was, if you love something, just go for it. Even if someone says that it's not the right decision, I would say just go for it. Just try, because it doesn't hurt. Just keep moving. Even if you fail, do not stop, because when you stop, that is when that is the downside. Just don't stop. Keep going. Pursue what you really love, because if you love something, you won't get tired, and you would really want to achieve those goals.
Right. So, now, I know that you've volunteered a lot of your time with our organization, the nonprofit, and, we put on Lloyd Fest, and that deals with many multiple diverse cultures. And I mean, you have fit in so very well. So what's the key? What's the charm in being able to just be amongst all these different diverse cultures and fit in? What's your charm to this? Because first you said you were shy, then you did it. Then you came out of your shell. So what's the secret here, Chahat?
I really, adore different cultures. I always try to learn, So what is that culture about? What are, like, stuff like that. And that is why I want to be keep learning. And that is my part, my way of learning things. And
Yes.
by getting involved, and that really, gives me immense happiness.
Yes.
Um, yeah, that just, yeah, brings joy to your life. I think that's what happens with me.
Well, I
Yeah.
think I can see that because I mean, when we interacted and stuff like that, I mean, that was my picture of you, social butterfly. Oh, Chahat knows everyone. She can talk to anyone, but not realizing that it is a work in progress. And even for myself, I mean, coming here and so on, getting involved, and it's amazing in learning. It's really, really great to learn all the different cultures, to share, especially food. Who doesn't like to share different kinds of food, right?
No.
So I found one of the key things was, sharing a meal together, sharing experiences together. And I think all in all, at least for me, it was a wonderful experience. So is there anything else that you would like to share with us about your journey, your whole transition, where you're at, with other women who are in this position, maybe women who are thinking about it? Do you think some people might say, well, I'm too old to do this, or, this might be too difficult, the language barrier? How do you speak to some of those challenges?
Okay, you know what? I have a lot of those interesting stories. I really like to push women, especially to achieve their goals or pursue what they like.
Yes.
A recent story is that I went to India, and I remember there were a few girls of 10 to 15 age. They came up to me and they knew me. They said, "Oh, we really want to be like you one day." So I was like, "Okay, you know what? Start from here." And I'm really glad they are contacting me every day. They just asking me questions and all that, like just help us with achieving something. And then there was um, I'll tell you, my mother came to Canada a couple of years ago, and she said she always wanted to study here, something. So
Oh,
she
your
was
mom?
yes.
Yeah.
So she was on a visitor visa, and you know what I did? I enrolled her into classes, English speaking classes.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes,
nice.
yes. It was yeah, she was so happy. I mean, the happiness that she got, and she
Wow.
she started attending classes. When she went back, she started reading books and all those, like,
Right,
it's, yeah, you
right.
just,
So she
I try
sort
to
of came
inspire
into
people.
your world. She came into
Yeah,
your world and understood the joy behind it. And I think that's wonderful because now I think you can see yourself as a role model. You said that you now be, communicating with young girls and giving them the vision, showing them sharing the vision of being able to pursue your goals, empowering them to do so. And I think that is absolutely awesome. And now you have mom on your side and she doesn't have to worry too much about you anymore.
I know. Oh, by the way, she loves my cooking now.
Well, so have you mixed flavors a bit? Like, I mean, I know you have your traditional style. So have you crossed over with different cultures into your food?
Oh yes, totally, totally. And my family, my brother lives with me, so it's me and my brother who lives here.
Uh-huh.
Um, he actually started saying that, you know what, just get back to your Indian spices because I'm tired of this.
He said, get back to the Indian spices. Well, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. And I think that's wonderful. So you are relatively young. So what is your vision perhaps, let's say in the next 5 years? What do you think would be a new pursuits, or what would you like to see for yourself?
For now, I would say growing my business because it's at a baby stage, and I
Yes,
really want to, see it flourishing, and um, yeah, grow it in India, have some branches around. And I'm just
absolutely.
really motivated. And I am also, planning to study masters, but I don't know, who
Right,
knows. So
right,
yeah,
right.
that, yeah,
Because out of that, I'm sure a lot of success stories are going to be born because the business that you're in is transitional for a lot of people to get from point A to point B. And of course, they look forward to that support and that service. Well, you know, Chahat, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining me here and Dare to Fulfill Your Dreams. And, you know, I'll be in touch with you because I'll be checking up and seeing how things have progressed. If you have something exciting and we want to do a part 2 of this, absolutely. I would love to do a part 2 with you. But in the meantime, I want to say congratulations. First thing, for pursuing your goal, for Dare to Fulfilling Your Dreams. So congratulations. And thank you so very much for taking the time. All right. And I wish you all the best. So thank you so much. Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay, bye.